are joined now by Brett Ciancia from Pick Six Previews. Brett, how are we doing this morning?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. It's an exciting week over in Lincoln, I'm sure, with USC coming to town. A huge matchup, really a season-defining game for both sides. So excited to be on and break it down with you guys.
Let's stay right there, B. You're a big analytics guy, and we just had a caller. We were talking about data, and expected yards per drive, points per possession. There are some offensive analytics where you look at SC and you're thinking, "Wow, this is a really good football team." But they're a beautiful case study in terms of making decisions in the moment, whether it's fourth down or third downs or a key play call. There's always a handful of things that Lincoln Riley does during the course of a game that seem to defy or not quantify the analytics. When you look at SC, let's just talk offense here for a second. For as good as they are analytically, what holds them back in your opinion? Or are they held back?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think what you have statistically is one of the best in the country. They're number one overall in my offense numbers, my opponent adjusted numbers. But yeah, you're right. Within games, that does change a little bit. I think against Notre Dame, sometimes some of their play calls got a little too cute. They tried this trick play, wide receiver reverse pass, and the receiver fumbled the ball. And it's not the receiver's fault. I bet they practiced it a few times. I think in the key moments, you want your quarterback making the throw, making the read. They have a good one with Jaden Maiava. So yeah, play calls like that. There was a fourth and one against Notre Dame where you're thinking maybe they just push forward either a fullback or a quarterback sneak. They go roll out, and it just did not work at all. Notre Dame snuffed it out. So yeah, just like their stat profile looks incredible, but in key moments in games, sometimes they come up short. Another thing, too, I've noticed is they have trouble salting away the clock. If they're up in the fourth quarter by a score or two, I don't know what it is. They're just not either trained that way or it's not his philosophy. Like they don't run the clock down. They just keep their offense going. That extends games and that extends the variability that they could blow a lead. So, and then situationally, when Lincoln Riley is the favorite, he does struggle here, especially on the road. When they're the road favorite, that's a poor number for them. And I think they're like 3-10 or something on the road against the spread. It's a really poor number. So those are the kind of weaknesses you can get. When you get them out of LA, they turn into a different team.
Let me flip-flop that. And defense is almost just the opposite. Boomer bust, kind of feast or famine. They don't like to line up and hunker down. They move. They use a lot of athleticism. What does that say about big plays versus not big plays versus sustained drives when you look at how SC likes to play defense?
Yeah, there's two numbers that stand out to me. It's how aggressive they are in blitzes and blitz packages. I have a negative play rate, which shows how often the team is making plays at or behind the line of scrimmage. Sacks, tackles for loss, the aggressive play calling. They're top 10 in that number. Means they're going after. They're sending guys in blitzes a lot, but also they're bottom 10 in explosive plays allowed. So that's the risk reward of it. You're bringing extra heat with blitzes and a lot of pressure. You're more exposed for the deep ball or long plays down the field. So they're a very high risk reward, a big gamble defense. So that's going to test that Nebraska offensive line. I think they're a little banged up, down a starter or two. So they're going to bring blitz packages, and they need to hold their water long enough to strike and get those explosive plays. But statistically looking at it, it's definitely all offense with USC. They're going to want to win a shootout. Their defensive numbers fall off. They're below average in almost everything. I thought that would be a big gain this year, second year under Danton Lynn, the coordinator who came over from UCLA, and they have not progressed as much as I'd have thought. But it's all offense, really, and they take some shots and try and get turnovers and sacks. So if you can hold up your offensive line long enough, you can beat them.
Brett, have you done much thinking or research into why USC seems to struggle so badly on the road? Like, is it as simple as the travel? Is it a weather thing? Is it like
it's a temperament?
Like what is it that you've seen, or like is there anything analytically that tends to back that up?
Or good opponents, right? How often do they go on the road as underdogs?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because you look at their road games this year. I mean, at Notre Dame, I think everybody would struggle at Notre Dame.
Sure.
At Illinois, that was a punchy team early there in September. I don't know exactly. I couldn't quantify it. I'm sure if Lincoln Riley could too, he'd have fixed it by now. It's really a problem for them. I don't know. Maybe some offensive styles don't travel as well into some cold weather, into some some frigid temperatures, some high wind. I know Nebraska, Iowa, these stadiums are always swirling winds. You know, that might be harder to throw the ball all over the yard when you got 35-mile-an-hour winds in your face. So I don't know if it's weather or if it's these Big Ten locations. It is some tougher teams they're traveling to Damon's point. I don't know. I'm not sure what the exact diagnosis is, but it's definitely a different team. But yeah, I think you're seeing somewhat of a playoff elimination game. If you look at it on a national scale or a Big Ten scale, they're both sitting there with 2 losses. To make the playoff or the playoff discussion, you got to be perfect from here on out. So, you know, we talk about the expanded playoff. The playoff's starting now for a lot of these teams in November.